Hello everyone and welcome to Chezuba. Today we are here to share a success story about a matched pair of an NGO and a volunteer who met each other through a virtual volunteering platform. Welcome Mr. Ravi Shankar from Mayjis Foundation. Mayjis Foundation's objective is to develop children's overall learning abilities. They are located in Karnataka, India, and the mission is to enhance the quality of education in government schools. Ravi, can you tell us more about Mayjis Foundation and the work that you guys do?
Hello, everybody. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I have established Mayjis Foundation in 2019, October. So that's about a year and a half. Unfortunately, a few months after that, COVID hit and derailed all the plans. Nevertheless, the main objective, there are two key objectives. One is to enhance the quality of education in government schools, as you have rightly put it. The whole thought behind this is there's a perception about government schools that the standard of education is not that great. Only very poor people go and their learning process is not all that great in comparison to private schools, which is what the intention is to change. And there are many NGOs who are working in that space. So my main focus is to work in the child development activities through non-academic activities. In the sense, not as much about teaching subjects like English, maths, science, social, those for which there are teachers anyway. But there are other development activities which are very important. Just to give two simple examples, given the fact that I'm based in Bangalore, all the government schools are Kannada medium. Likewise, other states, their respective language. Now, spoken English is what, as a first step, we wanted to focus. Now, in the current times, no one can deny that some element of spoken English is required, irrespective of any profession, any background. So, though there is English as a subject in the schools, but the spoken part is not focused. So, that is one area. The second area is to inculcate book reading as a habit. Every child need to have that book reading habit, whatever book it may be, simple story book, and as they grow, much bigger books that they can read. So any person who is a good reader of a book will develop as a person overall. So this is one area. The second area is to train employees of other NGOs. This is pretty much extension of my corporate experience. I've worked in corporate for 22 years. So there are certain topics in which we can train employees of NGOs so that they can do their job better. Like any company has training and development programs for their employees. So these are the two key areas with which one is a direct beneficiary action, the government school children. The other is indirect, I would say, because by enhancing the skills of employees of NGOs, they in turn would deliver better projects in many other areas.
That's really great initiative by you. So now it's time to welcome our matched volunteer, Ms Simran Chaurasia. Along with her studies, Simran preferred doing so many things which she loved, and volunteering in NGOs is one of them. She believes that it's a blessing if someone gets an opportunity to do something meaningful, which makes a positive impact on the life of others. Hi Simran, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hello ma'am. Hello Ravi sir. And good evening to everyone. And first of all, thank you very much for providing me this opportunity to give this interview. And I talked about my experience about working with Chezuba. And so I'm Simran Chaurasia. I'm basically from Kanpur and I'm currently doing PGDCA. And as ma'am has already told that apart from my studies, I love to do various different kinds of fields. I like to explore various different kinds of fields and do the things which I found, which I have interest into. And some of them like graphic designing, web development, and volunteering in an NGO. So these are the things.
That's really nice of you. Okay, so beginning with, can you tell us how you came across Chezuba? Ravi, maybe we can start with you and then Simran.
Sure, thank you. Interestingly, I started my interaction with Chezuba as a volunteer by myself. So I have seen both sides of the coin because I have been a volunteer actively during my corporate life, at least for over 15 years through various CSR programs, with various NGOs. So that's nothing new to me. And off late with a lot of virtual mode of volunteering. So that's how I registered myself on Chezuba, I think about 2-3 years back. And I connected with one NGO based in Bangalore itself. And I'm proud to say that the interaction is continuing even till date with that NGO, though that specific project is closed. So it's a good opportunity. And that's how it built confidence in me, in such platforms. And Chezuba was the first one that I have interacted, and off late, a few others later on. And when I established my own foundation, so I didn't lose any time to register my organization on Chezuba platform, because I believe that when I could get such an opportunity as a volunteer, I'm sure there are many more out there whom I can tap into. So now going to the other side of the table. So that's how I can, very confidently and proudly say, I've been a volunteer with Chezuba, and I've been supporting few other NGOs as well, even during this experience. And now through Chezuba, I've got many volunteers, including Simran, who have supported me during this pandemic time, last 1.5 years, given the fact that we couldn't do any on-the-ground activities because all the schools are closed. So I've used this time to do a lot of remote desktop kind of work in building my organizational, systems and processes, simple things like certain documentation and things like that. And a lot of volunteers to Chezuba have helped me, and they continue to help me. So it's been a great experience.
Oh, that's really nice. Yes, Simran, so can you tell us how you came across Chezuba?
Actually, I always wanted to work with an NGO. And while one day I was Googling about some NGOs, and this Chezuba, I got to know about Chezuba. And when I go through the website of Chezuba, then I found it very interesting. Like, even while sitting at home, I could work with some NGO that are situated worldwide. And so I feel very lucky. And then this lockdown happened in the 2020. Then I have got lots of free time. Then without it wasting any time, I registered myself there.
Oh,
Yes.
that's really nice. Okay. So Ravi, how did you manage to identify your volunteering requirements?
Yeah, so anything, as I said, anything that would help me remotely. For example, social media was one of the key things, which is a current buzzword. We all have to be there. And I have to admit, I have not been doing a great job there till then. I've been very conservative initially. And when I got more volunteers, started to do, still long way to go, just taking some initial steps. So likewise, with some children activities that I've planned out, we need to put some structures in place rather than just going ad hoc. Just to give an example, career guidance. So the next plan that I have in place is connect with high school students of government schools and give them career guidance sessions. Now, for which you need to have simple document on various careers so that all the volunteers talk consistently. Let's say, for example, today we want to talk about lawyer as a profession. Whether I talk or you talk or anybody else talk, we should give a similar message, more or less. I mean, you can add 5-10% extra. So likewise, there are many areas I've identified which I need to put some systems in place because I'm a new foundation, right? So, and that's how I think it's been a good opportunity in a way. I know pandemic is not good, but that remote volunteering situation came up during the situation, and any work that could be done remotely and with desktop kind of an activity. So I think that opened up windows. Then I don't need to look at volunteers based in Bangalore or anywhere else, right? It can be anywhere in the country or anywhere in the world for that matter. So that's how I, if I can use the word, exploited in a positive way, this network. And, a lot of groundwork has been done. I have to say in the last about a year, a lot of groundwork of my organizational documentation systems have put in place. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but quite a good progress and some more to go.
Right. That's what I think Chezuba's goal is to, really help such platforms to, attain their goals. So can you tell us, Ravi, how challenging it was for you to finalize your preferred volunteer?
So once I had the requirements put in place, and Chezuba has a very nice set of questions that you can spell out what are the requirements and what skill set are expected out of a volunteer, time commitment. As I said, since I myself have been a volunteer, I've experienced that. So I had that clarity in my head. So I know that what kind of work I can assign through this platform, particularly given it's a remote stroke desktop kind of work, right? Once things open up, then I would be looking for more volunteers for on the ground activity. Then naturally the limitation will be they have to be based in Bangalore, right? That goes without saying. So keeping that factor in mind, any work that could be done remotely and with a desktop, any computer, laptop that any student or any person for that matter has. So I have considered those factors and accordingly listed my requirements. So I mean, some things cannot be done remotely. So only those. I think based on that, all the matches that I've got has been 100%, matched. I never found a situation, oh, this volunteer doesn't suit, so reject. Get me another one. On Touchwood, till now, I never had that situation. It's been going great. So accordingly, I've been spelling out my requirements.
Right. We hope the same for the future as well with you.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. Also now coming to you, Simran, how do you decide on which volunteering project like you are interested in or you want to pick?
So as on the platform Chezuba, there are many projects available and all of them are categorized depending upon the skills which the particular project requires. So I have simply filtered out the content writing and the social media marketing projects because at that time I want to do that work only. Then I found some projects and I go through that projects and read out the requirements which the NGO needs. And after reading the requirements and all that, I applied to few of them, which I found that I could be best fit for them.
Oh, that's really cool. Okay. So can you give us some information about your journey with each other after the match? Like Simran, we can start with you this time.
Talking about my journey with the sir, it was really great. As sir is doing really great work. Like he had picking up those skills which the children are not gonna learn in their schools. Like in government school, no government school is gonna teach their children about critical thinking, logical thinking ability, and spoken English and all that stuff. And so he's really going to. Sir is really doing great work, and all these things are also very necessary for a child's overall personality development. And the work which is sir is doing is really appreciable, and I am really proud that I have got a chance to work with him. And also talking about my experience, then I would like to say that it was really a learning experience for me also. Like when sir had given me a task and I have completed, then when I show that work to sir, then sir points out some things and tell me that this points need the improvement and you can do this better in this way. So that's really contributed in the improvement of my skills. So overall, it really great experience for me. It was,
okay.
Yes.
And what about you, Ravi?
As I spelled out with regards to the requirement, it was very clear, and Simran had the clarity. And with any volunteer, I have a standard approach. I first talk to them on phone and explain them very briefly what Mayjis, which I mentioned here as well in the first part, so that they need to understand what is this all about, right? So though rather than directly jumping into the specific project, I believe in giving a very high level view about the organization. And I have a simple document, a few pages document about the Mayjis Foundation and also the website. So immediately after the call, I first prefer to talk to people on phone, right? Rather than just email. And right after the call, the very same day, I follow through with an email with a document and key points that I spoke with the link to the website so that they can go through and get more information. And then specifically, highlight about the project. Now, in this case, Simran helped me put together some content which can be used on social media, like the examples I gave, spoken English session, some indoor game activities, etc. The idea was once things open up, right, anytime soon, then I will be looking for more volunteers on the ground in Bangalore. Now, for which, how do I attract? Of course, there are platforms like Chezuba and others, no doubt about it. In addition to that, if I post it through some of the social media handles of Mayjis Foundation that, we are doing a spoken English session, some indoor activities, some creative, games and activities of that sort. So that would potentially attract more volunteers. They know little more specific details what we are going to do, right? Rather than being generic that we're looking for volunteers. Right. So the idea was to create a simple write-up on 2-3 such areas and then post. And I shared this with Simran as well. I said, unfortunately, I don't want to post it right away. And whenever we did this few months back, because there's no point in putting it on social media. Some volunteers would express interest. Oh, great, spoken English, I want to do a session. But then I have to say, sorry, schools are closed, right? Yeah. So it was a very tricky situation. I was in two minds, what should I do? But I took a decision that I just posted one just to see some reactions of the people. But others I did not post intentionally because let me post at the time when I need it, right? Otherwise, 10 volunteers may come contact me and then say, oh, it's not happening now. Fine. It may fizz out. That enthusiasm may disappear. So, but nevertheless, having said that, whatever work Simran has done, all those, case study documents, I have it with me. Once things get back to normal from a school standpoint, and then I'll be using them on the social media.
That sounds like a really great match between the NGO and the volunteer.
Yes.
Okay. So coming to you, Simran, how do you feel upon completing the project?
I really felt good. I felt that yes, I have finally completed the work that I wanted to do from a long time, and I also got a very nice certificate of appreciation from Chezuba, and the Ravi sir had also given me a nice certificate with showing work with Mayjis Foundation, and I really felt happy after getting those certificates.
Oh, that's really nice experience for you, right? Okay, so can you share your overall experience with Chezuba and its team, starting with Mr. Ravi, please?
Yeah, as I always said, it's been great, and I have experienced both sides of it as a volunteer, and I'm still a volunteer on Chezuba platform, though being a little passive in the last few months, but I've done, and now as a receiver of the volunteering services. So in both scenarios, a great experience. Never had any situation wherein, oh no, what's happening, right? Never such a moment. And any queries you write, and even though there have been some change in people, the handoff has been smooth. Right? The respective connecting manager, for Mayjis Foundation, some of them changed, but it was so smooth transition. They themselves proactively called and said, hello, Ravi, I am so-and-so. Now I'll be taking care of Mayjis Foundation. Like, wow, this is great. Very professionally managed. I really appreciate that. And for all the good work that Chezuba is doing, connecting NGOs on one side to pool of volunteers across, and look forward for more interaction and good luck.
Thank you. Okay, Simran, can we know your point of view?
I've fallen in love with the idea of their work. Like Chezuba is bridging the gap between the persons who want to do some meaningful work and the NGOs who want volunteers for them. And talking about the team of Chezuba, then the team of Chezuba is very supporting. They really guide you through the process, that what should you do next, and guide you about everything by sending you emails and all that stuff. So it's really great.
Oh, that's really, thank you so much for this feedback. As a final question, what's your appeal to the audience about virtual volunteering?
That if you are someone who want to do some meaningful work, if you want to make your contribution in bringing some positive change, if you have a skill set and want to apply it, then you definitely go and find out the projects on Chezuba, and you will never regret it, and you appreciate that. And yes, go apply and become a change maker. Yes.
Can we know your views, Mr. Ravi?
Yeah, sure. Firstly, I think in the last 1.5 years, due to the pandemic situation, a lot of virtual volunteering opportunities opened up, which is a good thing. As I keep saying, there are some positives of this pandemic, though it may sound controversial. But what it has done is a lot of people have come forth and registered themselves, because it's virtual, right? And I can just do it at the luxury of my home. So which is a good thing. So if earlier there were 100 volunteers, now you have 500 of them because of the situation that has happened. But as a follow through, what I would encourage all volunteers is, whenever situation gets to normal, I know it's all new normal, can't be like the way it is 2019 and before. On one hand, yes, please continue virtual remote volunteering support to any NGO, because it can be done anywhere in the country. But at the same time, also get to the on the ground work, because end of the day, if one as a volunteer cannot, reach out to the ground level activities, you will not be able to appreciate. Everything is not at the desktop and virtual world. You got to experience the real world. Any form of NGO, doesn't matter whether you're working with children or environment related or women empowerment, old age home, village development. There are tons of themes of NGOs. What I only suggest every volunteer across the country is, whichever place you are staying in the close proximity, you will surely find one or the other NGO, right? Connect with them, do on the ground work as well. That's when you really appreciate how things are done, what are the ways they manage the show. And of course, keep your one leg on the virtual volunteering as well. This is the only message I would like to give to all virtual volunteers out there.
So thank you so much for joining us and giving your lovely feedback towards Chezuba and, guiding people towards virtual volunteering. Please stay connected and for the betterment of the community. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for the wonderful opportunity. Thank you so much.